Howdy, friends and family. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Thursday Night Thought. This week I want to talk about the power of personal responsibility. And the message I received this week was this: light is strength, a personal power, and nothing can overcome the power of personal responsibility, the impetus of change. Therefore, let go of all fear and confusion and be the light. So recently, there's been all these revelations around these greater aspects of ourselves. But then last week, there was this light that was shown into the darker areas that may be holding us back. So maybe it was a darker situation. Maybe it was a darkness within yourself. Maybe it was just bringing something to light and revealing something. And for me, it wasn't an exciting and beautiful process, because when you're sitting there looking at your own darkness, a lot of times there can be judgment and different negative voices and things like that you experience. But I don't believe that's why we were shown these darker aspects. Actually, my experience of it is when I really looked at those darker aspects of myself, I noticed that I could shift that if I just took a leap on myself, if I made a radical decision that would change a lot of different things. So I was offered an opportunity this week to take out a business loan. And when I wrote the contract for that business loan, here's what happened. I realized I was writing a contract to a higher aspect of myself. Because when I step into that higher aspect of myself, then I've embodied it at that moment. But it takes making a commitment. It takes taking on that personal responsibility. And for me, that showed up around my finances. It was something where I have to take a risk so that I put that integrity out there, and then I have that to keep me accountable to my desires, to what it is I see in that greater aspect of myself. So can you see how standing in that and making that decision is an incredible feeling? Because it's a personal power. Nobody else wrote that contract. Nobody else has that loan to pay. I do. And I made a commitment to a greater aspect of myself that I know is within me. And the cool thing about that is I know there's even greater contracts down the road that I'm going to write. But I can't write those greater contracts until I start here. So all of us at all times are being offered opportunities to shift out of our spaces that we're in, or that darkness that has been holding us. And when I did that, the strength that came through me broke all that fear and confusion, because I knew I was making a commitment, and I'm not going to let myself down. So there's a strength in that, in knowing that we're making a commitment to that greater aspect of ourselves. So what is it in your life? What is that darkness around that? Where is it that fear and confusion is coming in around those dreams? And what can you radically do to take personal responsibility to shift that? There's a strength in that. And that is the light that is within each of us, and what's calling us into that greater purpose of who we are to serve with our gifts and talents in this world to make a greater difference. That's our Thursday Night Thought. I look forward to sharing our next Thursday Night Thought together.